Gideon has a big controversy. He's beefing with Keemstar right now, which who hasn't beefed with Keemstar at some point? Kanye has a new album that we're going to talk about a little bit. We got the KSI and Logan Paul basically just glazing themselves, even though everyone hates them.
On their channels.
I personally don't hate anybody, but basically everybody on the internet hates them. We got Talk Tua. You love her, you hate her, you have no opinion on her. Those are the only 3 opinions that I feel like are acceptable at this point. We got It's Camilla on TikTok, the Is It Pink girl. Absolute travesty there. We got Dr. Disrespect reapplying for monetization. Is this the start of like a new redemption arc for Dr. Disrespect, or is this the end of his career?
The fall.
We have Kenel Joseph, who was kicked out of a mall and assaulted, which is just ridiculous, bro. Streamers just getting assaulted left and right. We need to talk about that Kick streamer that was assaulted as well.
Which one?
There's a couple of them, actually. We can talk about that more. We got a pretty serious topic I'm going to just touch up on right now. Absolute prayers going out for anyone who is living on the East Coast experiencing the hurricane that hit there. I have seen videos online. Those are terrible. It's terrible. It's extremely sad to see things that people have worked for a long time are getting cooked because of water. I mean, it's sad. It's extremely sad. And then finally, we have gangs threatening streamers because of Kendrick Lamar and Drake. It's kind of
absurd,
a ridiculous situation. We can talk about that
ironic,
first, honestly.
It
It's just stupid, bro. Like, why are we sitting here?
You want to start with that one?
Yeah, let's absolutely start with that one.
Okay.
How are we sitting here saying we're related to Kendrick Lamar, which we also haven't been able to confirm that anybody that said that out loud
But they claim to be Kendrick Lamar's associates.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Lamar associates. And they're more or less threatening Aiden and who else was it?
It was Aiden Ross and FaZe Banks.
Aiden FaZe Banks, yeah. Saying that if you guys come to California, we will no, you're good. If you guys come to California, basically we will pop you. We will cap you in the head, or beat the crap out of you, or whatever. They're threatening both of them just for being Drake supporters. Which I'm not a Drake supporter. Like I want to get that off the. I want to start off like
Drake
that.
We're not here.
No. I glaze Kendrick and then Kendrick only, but I don't support gang violence because of a rap feud. That's absurd. It's like
I just don't support violence. Period.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. And if you think about it, it's like. I didn't even think about this. We were talking about this for a second before we got on, but I didn't even think about this. If you think about the Pac and Biggie situation, how people started sliding for them. That's literally what happened is that people were sliding on the other one because that was the person they were like rooting for in a sense. And like the other person was like the opposition.
I got hit.
And yeah, and so
that's the
it's like ironic because that's something that Kendrick Lamar literally preaches against. And he is someone who looked up to Tupac and talks about, like rest in peace all the time. He talks about how much he looks up to Tupac, and I don't think this is something that he would be like okay with in the slightest, but that is something that like these people are doing, and it's just absurd. So I don't think it actually has anything to do with Kendrick Lamar, but I want to hear your take on that as well.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine it has anything to do with Kendrick Lamar either. That's why I put it kind of like in quotes. In the notes I put for like FOR for Kendrick Lamar. I don't think they're related to Kendrick Lamar. I wouldn't imagine they're related to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has actually extended a hand to Drake before. Remember that concert that he did? He said, show up to the concert and I'll respect you.
The pop out concert?
Yeah, you remember that pop out? Yeah, the pop out concert.
Right?
Yeah, it was very cool. It was extending
crazy.
a hand, and I think that Kendrick Lamar as a person, at least, I respect him a lot. Whether you like his music or not, whether you think Drake or him won or whatever, if that even matters anymore. I think that ultimately neither of them believe in violence, except Drake. If we want to talk about the X conspiracy, Drake is the only one that seems to actually be showing violence. Like that's. I don't think it. There's like the whole conspiracy on him hitting X.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't even know if I call it a conspiracy. He more or less agreed to it in his own songs.
Yeah, I know.
If you listen to Daylight and stuff like that, I think he definitely put a hit out on X.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Then they say
we talked about that in our song that we made on that stream.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yep. It's basically confirmed. I don't know if it's fully confirmed. We can't say
legally confirmed.
We have truth here.
There's a lot of
Unless Young
evidence.
Thug ends up getting actually fully persecuted, because
Then we
now
should
we
be
can.
able to,
Now we can actually
prosecute him based
persecute him
on
for
that.
his crimes. But as far as right now goes, we don't have any real sources other than Drake songs.
This is like a little bit unrelated, but something I want to talk about is, so obviously Diddy is a hot topic right now. P.
Yeah.
Diddy. Do you think, so Kendrick Lamar, I don't know if you've heard it, but he released a song on his Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up, I don't know if it's still up or not, but it was called Watch the Party Die. That's what the song was called. He only released it on Instagram. It's like a 5-minute song.
Really?
It's over a really like soft kind of like classical sample. And he kind of like, it's a lot more soft and like him like, I don't know, it's really soft and personal almost, the whole song. I would compare it almost to like Meet the Grams, if you remember
That's
that.
what I was
during the
thinking,
beat.
yeah.
And like, but it's not like taking strikes at anyone. It's more of like him talking, he's literally talking about LA, Hollywood, and all this stuff, talking about watching the party die, like referring to Diddy parties. And he says like, I'm gonna watch the party die. Like I'm gonna take on this stuff and I'm gonna watch the party die. And so I wanted to say like, you know, he claims to have an album upcoming, or like people around him are claiming there's an album coming, and how could he not with all the heat that's on him right now, or like popularity he has right now? Do you think that his next project will be something targeted towards what's going on in LA and Diddy and things like that?
I would. I think that'd be a banger. That'd be an
It'd be
absolute
insane.
banger.
We've never gotten anything like that. A full-fledged album around a super serious topic, especially right now, that's been getting brought up. Because I think it's without doubt.
There's also the Justin Bieber stuff. I don't know if we wanted to talk about that at all.
We can, but there's without doubt a lot. I think we can both agree there's a lot of bad stuff going down in LA.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think Diddy is the tip of the
Yeah.
iceberg, and not just, you know, I mean, just all these celebrities. If we want to talk about Epstein, like it's not the same exact circle, but it's a similar situation, and you know,
Well, there's a lot of freaks out there. Is basically the point.
exactly, and they're in positions of power,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Well, I would argue that that power and money are one of the number one ways to corrupt someone. One of the number one ways. That's why we normally see money not lasting past the third generation. Stuff like that. It's because power, money, corrupt people. They use all the money and power that they have to do bad things, and then they have nothing again. That's normally how it goes. I think that's what we're probably going to see. On Guard Media. I need to turn my alerts off when I'm not.
is that for the podcast channel or for the regular channel?
That's for the normal. That's for
Oh,
my
dang.
channel. But On Guard Media, subscribe
still
here
a W,
too.
still a W.
Yeah, subscribe here too.
if he sees it.
I doubt he'll see it. I doubt. The podcast channel's growing. Actually, guys, thank you for 8 subscribers.
That's a big jump.
That's more than 0. That's more than 0.
We're working.
We are working. You know, starting a new channel is hard, and I also have made a point to not mention this channel on my main account, because I was just like, I don't want people to subscribe that are not interested in podcasts. You know,
We want it to be much more personable and like separate from. I mean,
Yeah,
and
its own
other than
thing.
in name, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a brand.
it is
more
of
like a brand name
thing, yeah.
than it is. But we want it to be something that's completely separate from the
normal one, yeah.
the gaming, streaming, and commentary channel.
For sure. It's just much more powerful that way, I think. I can also get more deep with my opinions without connecting it to my main channel, because a lot of my main channel stuff is less opinionated.
You gotta remain really like kind of unbiased.
Yeah. As a news source, that's what I want to see myself as. I would love to be seen as a reliable news source that is much different from Keemstar.
But this is something. Yeah, that's fair. But the podcast is something that we can really pour out into you guys and give us our full opinion on the biggest topics going on right now, or whatever we decide to do in the future. We've talked a lot about doing like something philosophy related, a religious topic, but in things we care about, we can give you our full opinions on here without it being like, oh, these guys claim to give the facts on stuff, but they give you opinions. We're letting you know right now. That's the whole point, is that you get our opinions, and that's what
If you
we
want,
hope you're here to listen to. You know.
Yeah, if you want just bland facts and little to no opinions, that's what my main channel is for.
And that's not a bad thing either. It's just 2 different types of content for you to consume.
Absolutely.
Based on what you're looking for.
Honestly, I think that the podcast is also a good bias check too. I mean, if you really wanted to see, everybody has a natural bias. It's impossible to be fully unbiased. I think this is a great way to check my bias a little bit.
You're like reviewing yourself when you
Yeah, definitely. I
Mhm.
can see where the bias is and where
That's
to
fair.
lean towards
and
away or
getting
where,
multiple opinions on something.
for sure,
I think
which
I think
helps.
we even though we agree on a lot of things, guys, I feel like even just hearing someone else's opinion, it might be slightly in variation, or we might totally disagree. And just hearing what Brody has to say, what I have to say, it makes you think more, and that's ultimately what we're looking for. Is like to learn more, grow more, find compromise, maybe depending on what it is, obviously, or whatever. And so that's what we hope you gain from this
Yeah.
experience.
One thing there's no room for compromise on is the facts, and Keemstar ruined that.
That's true.
I was
bro.
trying to do a transition earlier, but I was
That
like,
was a
I'm
hard
gonna let him keep
transition.
going. But nothing.
Chat, rate this transition.
Yeah, segue. But anyways, we got Keemstar that brought a specific fact to Gideon. That fact being that the Trump ASS. I'm just gonna. You can even let it finish.
A nation.
Was in one of Gideon's videos. When he brings that to Gideon makes a statement about it, makes a video about it, talks about it, how this would impact any of his channel and stuff like that, and how he, feels it's impact him even. And basically, right after that, Keemstar says, actually, Gideon, you need to issue an apology right now because that's not actually the real Trump guy. And it's like,
the
What?
new attempt, the second attempt.
the second one, yes.
Yeah. So it's a little absurd because
If you
he brought him information saying, "Oh, the Trump,
Yeah.
the guy was in your video," and it wasn't him. And now this poor soul is like getting probably harassed by
a
people
degree.
saying, "Yeah," whether it's on like social media or in person or whatever, and like saying, "Hey, like you did this," and he brought unwanted attention to that guy's name.
Yeah, especially right after. The funny thing is that Gideon posted a couple days later, and basically says, "Yo, you brought me this information."
Yeah.
Ratios Keemstar
It was
so
crazy,
hard.
bro. It's so funny
Destroys him.
because Keemstar tries to literally what Keemstar is doing here is saying whatever and doing whatever to get that attention, and he gave this info to Gideon and then immediately threw him under the bus when he saw that it could get him more views and whatever. And so it's like, yeah, Gideon literally just exposing him in his own comment section, being like, "You literally gave me the info that he was like that, so don't act like I fumbled the bag here." And he's like, but he still apologized, and that's how you know he's a good guy. I was just watching. I actually really like Gideon's new content. I don't know if you watched it.
The PDF
Catching EDP Watch.
Yeah, EDP Watch. Yeah. That's a good way to.
He literally he said on Instagram he actively loses money on his new channel on his EDP Watch.
I don't think he's ever cared about losing money though.
But that's what I'm
for
saying.
the past year or so.
And so I think that just shows you that he's actually doing something he really cares about. And so.
And enjoys probably.
Yeah,
I would imagine he enjoys it.
Catching and arresting bad people.
Yeah, literally. But the one thing I am always nervous about when we see these EDP Watch type content is, are they actually getting real justice?
So what I like about his is
hard.
at the end of his videos, he'll actually talk about that, and he'll say what charges, if they got any charges, if they got if they're being prosecuted or whatever. And about over half of them do. A lot of times they don't. It should be more
so
than
many
half.
EDPs that don't get prosecuted ever.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very overarching issue with the American justice system.
It's
We want to
absurd.
prosecute people that are, smoking and doing stuff like that, but we don't want to prosecute people that are literally predators.
And the thing is too is that you will get horrible predators who will literally SA or RAP a minor, and they will literally, if they even get prison time, it'll be like 5-10 years. That is
gross.
absurd. That
You
is
should
disgusting.
be in jail for life.
You literally,
You're gonna do that again.
That's not something that you can just mess up and do one day. I think people should be able to get out on murder way sooner. People who murder, and I'm not saying murder is okay.
You're talking about
obviously.
non-planned
But if
murder.
they will
manslaughter.
literally get more time than people who willingly chose to sexually abuse a minor. That's absurd.
It's stupid.
It's so stupid. And I don't know, and it's not just murder, there's other charges and stuff, but it's crazy how easy we let these people go. And what happens, I think the reoccurring rate for ones that come out and then get caught doing it again, it's almost 90% or something like that.
It's super, super high.
It's a very high percentage rate. And what is the solution to this problem? It's obvious. I mean, it's not that hard. I don't know why we can't That's why, again, going back to Diddy and all that stuff, there's something more at play here, bro. Because any logical thinking human being would know this is not okay to do. This is not okay to send them back out here. People who are mentally deranged, it's not okay to send them back out into the public just to do what they did again, when more than likely they will. I mean, we can look at the facts and the statistics and see that they're going to do that again.
Literally, it's just gross, and it's something that we can definitely talk about with our next two topics. So one topic
let's
is
do it.
Dr. Disrespect reapplying for monetization. So whether you believe that he is at risk or not, whether you believe that he committed a crime or not, I think we can all agree that what he did was a little bit uncalled for. No matter what he said to the individual minor, it was uncalled for, but he is reapplying for monetization. And reapplying for monetization means a couple things. That means that he would be monetized on YouTube again and be making money again, which is a massive W for him if that goes through. It would mean that YouTube has to take a stance on these allegations, and it would probably mean that he's going to have to prove his innocence a little bit more than just there was no legal wrongdoing, you know? Because YouTube doesn't want people like that on their app. That's their advertisers. Their advertisers don't like people like that on their app. So we're going to really see either a redemption arc for Dr. Disrespect or a giant failure, and it'll be the end of his career. Because he's not going to be able to make money anymore. You can't have a career if you're not making money.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think he plans to get another job and still continue streaming and making videos full time.
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that he's able to even get another job at this point. With his name and what he has been on his name, it'd be extremely hard for him to get a job.
Do we have any info on like any response for that, or like did he say
within a month we'll know? If you're talking about his
monetization
application, yeah, within a month.
So
we'll
it was
know.
to YouTube.
So to YouTube. More often than not, they happen extremely fast. I haven't seen anything on his channel yet that says that it has happened. Oh my gosh, bro. One of our topics later.
It just pulled up on the front page.
But yeah, he has not said anything since September 25th. To put it into perspective, guys, when I applied for monetization for the first time, it was on, I believe, January 1st of 2023. And I heard back the same day. So he might have heard back.
Probably.
Or
if he's heard back,
still.
they're still just, yeah.
Which is a massive L for him so far. We'll see what happens with that. We'll update you guys as things go on. But the other topic that it does really tie into...
I don't want to see him succeed. I want to say that.
All right.
I'm praying on his downfall, bro.
I still enjoy some of his clips. I won't.
I won't.
That's fair. That's a fair take. But I do think that he was a good streamer.
I think he was.
That he still is a good streamer, but he has some real skeletons in his closet.
I think their skeletons.
I
think the skeletons are piling up enough for me to not care about what he streams.
Fair.
I think I would. Yeah. Again, I don't have pity for these guys, bro.
No, I don't either. No, I condemn.
I feel bad that they are mentally ill enough to have that condition where they're attracted to minors. But
the one thing is that we do need to see proof still. Like, we need to see proof on both sides.
Until he gives proof that he's free, there's proof is stacked up against him right now, bro.
It is. It really is.
And I can't trust that.
It's enough people saying what you did is gross to say, hey, maybe what he did is gross. And there's enough people that, and he's the only one that's fighting for his own corner.
And it's enough.
Even his best friends.
Yeah. And there has to be a reason for that. And it's enough for me to be like, I'm not going to risk it, bro. I'm not going to, I don't want to risk supporting someone who is more than likely that.
I don't interact with his content. I'm just saying that, he does have very clippable moments. And I thought before he was a funny streamer, I think he is still a funny streamer.
He's probably funny. He also took the route, in his first few responses, he took the route of becoming, a alt-right,
Yeah, an alt-right, I'm Sneeko now. I'm Andrew Tate. I can do what I want.
And it was once he kind of took on that persona, I was like, all right, bro, this is a cop out to try and get an audience I think he definitely will, but to try and get that alt-right audience to just cling on your back, because that's a fan base that's not going to die no matter what you do.
No, it won't.
They'll find excuses.
And Andrew Tate and all
bro,
these people.
They could do the worst thing ever, and their audience won't leave. They could actually do some horrible, horrible nonsense, and they'll find a way to...
Normally, their audience are also horrible people. Not everybody, but most of their audience is...
There's a reason for... Yeah.
Horrible people. continuing though, we can talk about It's Camilla. We had talked about this briefly.
Nasty.
She's originally a TikToker. She has a YouTube channel now.
And she has something else.
She also has an OnlyFans, an OF as the kids are calling it. But she started out as a Mr. Beast contestant on Squid Games.
I know. I actually literally, so I used to see clips of her. I did not know that was the same girl in the Squid Games video until I don't know if you mentioned it or someone mentioned it to me. I couldn't believe it. But I used to get her on my For You page all the time of like
she was interesting.
She'd
She
just
does
be
have
like
a personality.
she'd be like all of the clips I would see, it would be like titled like OF girl, she monetizes the crap out of her little brother. And that's what we were going to talk about too. I didn't mean to steal the light.
No, that's perfect.
But I would see these clips from her, and basically
podcast clips is what they are. Even
and basically
she doesn't have a podcast. That's one thing I can touch up on.
It's just like they like are
They're
clipping,
pretending
like,
to be a podcast.
Yeah, and then clipping. They're just recording like short videos where they look like they're in a podcast, and
that's exactly what it is.
And but
clip farming.
What she would do is she'd basically be like, hey, like, she'd get her brother on there, who's her little brother. He's pretty young. I think he's like a freshman or a sophomore. And basically, every video would be her being like, so what do you think of me being an OF creator? And then every time he's like, I think it's disgusting, and I think like you're literally ruining our lives socially because you're putting a bad image. And then she's like, well, I actually made your life because I get all this money and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, no, you aren't. You're ruining my life. And then that's like every single clip. Or it's like
that's
subtly different where he'll just like take a jab at her. And then she'll be like, are we really going to do this? And it's like,
are we really? That's her whole content.
It's like the entire, all of her content is just, hey, I'm an OF creator. My little brother doesn't like it. And so watch these clips of him telling me he doesn't like it.
Yeah. And there's also a video where he says, what do they mean? What do they mean? Is it pink? Like, what do they ask me?
I think he
is
knew.
It pink?
I think
he
knew.
knows. He's not stupid. He's not a stupid kid. Dude, there's no way you get to 16 years old and you don't know what that means. If you don't know what that means, then you live a very sheltered life. And considering your older sister is an OnlyFans creator, you do not live a sheltered life.
Yeah.
The point is that, like, this is just a gross thing to do. And on top of that, she has also been making TikToks where she'll make sexual faces dancing with him and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not towards him. It's not like he is the product of her sexual advances. It's like she's making sexual faces to attract people. And it's like, oh, next year, brother, or what, something like that.
That's so weird, bro.
It's really weird. And it's just like, he's a minor, man. And I blame her parents more than anything else. I don't blame her.
I blame her quite a bit too.
Well, the thing is she's an adult.
I think,
and she should know better. But ultimately,
you're saying
why are his parents allowing him to be on the video?
Oh, I agree with that sentiment. I agree with that quite a bit.
Like,
I think
there's no reason.
they would have to not know the full extent of it. Is my literal only guess.
There's a video where the parents are in the background talking to them as if they are sitting behind the camera on a podcast.
That's so weird.
No, there's literally proof that the parents do know what's happening.
The parents are obviously not that good either.
The parents are borderline.
Oh, that's nasty.
Predators for doing that.
I mean, they're definitely
they're not actually.
They're definitely supporting that sort of sentiment.
I think you can abuse someone, like essay somebody mentally and like vocally as well. It's like catcalling.
Oh, it's kind of like how they do to Bieber, which we.
Well, like if you're going around whistling at girls, like, you know what I'm saying? Like catcalling, calling them whatever words, you know?
Yeah, it almost slipped out. Calling him whatever words.
Like, I mean, that's
like who?
That is a form of
like whatever.
SH, you know? And I think what they're doing is they're actively SHing their son.
I would agree.
And allowing it to happen, which is gross and disgusting. And I understand he's a boy, so it's different.
And that's a horrible reason too.
People
like to bring that one out.
People that'll do that type of stuff. It's gross.
They don't like to say that, but that's the truth.
I don't think this is a byproduct of like soft generation, this and that. I think it's a byproduct of like, this is just a weird thing that's happening, and I think most people can agree with that. Dude, have I seen a single clip of her talking about with her brother about her parts and thought I need to buy her OnlyFans? Never. I don't know who's thinking that. How is she in business?
See, I wonder like if her OnlyFans is even that big, or if it was. I think these clips maybe probably blew up before her OnlyFans would have.
Yeah,
is my only guess.
And I mean, she is like moving into the podcasting space. She had a recent podcast clip session with Sophie Rain, where they talk about like NLE Choppa and stuff like that. And it's pretty interesting, albeit like I mean, it is an interesting topics. I mean, it's two OnlyFans creators talking, so maybe not take much advice from them personally, but like, I mean, they both seem like good people, other than their moral decisions to be on OnlyFans. I personally, here's my thing. If anybody that I know personally was on OnlyFans, I would encourage them not to be on OnlyFans. But if the fact that OnlyFans exists, I can't really stop that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked about this before. If somebody comes up to me and says, "I do OnlyFans for a living. Nice to meet you," I'd say, "Oh, sweet, yeah, okay, whatever." Like I'd shake their hand.
Really?
Normally, I'd say, I wouldn't be like, "Oh no, yo."
I probably wouldn't
I'm
have
not
that
doing
reaction.
that.
I don't think I would be like,
I wouldn't look.
that's
at them.
respectable. I would be like, hey, how are you? Oh, like let's say like, hey, how are you? Like I'm like, hey, how are you? Do this. I don't know. I'm a barista, and then they're like, oh, cool. I'm like a OnlyFans creator. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
And I would shake their hand, and I probably wouldn't talk to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can learn something from everyone ultimately, so I don't ever fully write somebody off.
That's
but
fair, but sex work is not something that I think I can learn much from.
You wouldn't want to learn sex work.
No, I wouldn't really want to learn sex work. I had the opportunity a couple times, and I was, yeah. Can we give a little story time,
Yeah, go ahead. Story time.
dude? One time, guys, I was at work.
Make sure to say their first and last names.
Oh, I will.
And where you work.
I'm not gonna do any of that. So and but basically, I'm at work, and I'm taking orders at my work. I don't know where I work. I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna say what kind of work it is.
I'm not gonna say what work I work at.
It's a Dutch work.
It's I mean, it's sort of like Netherlandish.
Yeah, it could be.
Could
But
be.
anyways, let's story time.
But I'm taking an order, and this guy. So I learned through the what is it?
The grapevine.
The
Yes.
grapevine.
yes.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine that the guy driving the car is a little
P-star.
is a P-star. Yeah,
He
and
likes corn.
and everyone else. And so he basically what he does is every time he's there, he has a carload of women who we can assume
My man.
are also in that industry. And they wear clothing that's very like
Revealing.
showing
That's okay.
of that. Yeah.
Revealing.
Showing of their occupation. And I didn't make that connection when I saw them. I didn't like understand all that yet. Like in the moment I was just like I don't know, whatever. And I'm like so one of the girls in his car, mind you, he's the only guy, 4 women in a car, and she asks if she can get my number, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, like cool. And so I hand her my phone, and she types her number in, whatever. And so so then after the fact, I'm like, I get a text message. It's like, hey. And I'm like, oh. And so then I like tell someone else I'm working with, oh yeah, like this girl came by and gave me her number. She was like in the car with like that one dude, and I described the guy, and then who I was talking about, and they're like, oh, that guy's a porn star. And I'm like, oh shoot. And he's like, and all the women he carries around with him are the other actresses with him. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so they told me they just got back from work. They all just got back from
Hit
work.
her up immediately.
So what I did was
Hit her up immediately.
I
Called her.
just didn't respond, but she has my full name and everything and my number, and I just didn't respond, and to this day I haven't heard anything, so that's good. But every time I see them, it's kind of awkward now, and I thought that was a good story time, but like it's just funny because like she asked for my number after just getting presumably railed by the front driver of her car.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah,
That's fair. Yeah, I respect her though. I respect the hustle.
Well, the reason I thought about it when you said that is because then everyone around me kept making jokes. They're like, why'd you say no? And I was like, they're like, you could learn from her. And I'm like, all right, man, I'm okay.
Hey, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. It's insurance. I don't remember what it was.
You know who else has seen a thing or two?
Talk to her. Talk to her.
And,
She's seen a thing or two for sure.
and she spit on that. She
spit on a
she
thing
spit
or
on that
two.
thing or two.
I don't know actually. Maybe it's only been one. Who knows? Who really knows?
I don't really,
I think she
talk
actually
to us.
seems like a pretty well.
Hawk to our girl's body count is not really on the forefront of my mind most of the time.
I would imagine it's not that high, to be fair.
Well, she is famous for spitting on penis.
But also, I think she just makes vulgar jokes. I think that's like part of her character. Like that's part of what she was doing. She was being funny. You know, because they ask the whole interview. Have you seen the whole interview?
Yeah. No.
Like the full
No, I
original
haven't.
Clip? Yeah, the full original clip is like her. That she's clearly out on the town, and she's
She's
like,
drunk.
Yeah, she's definitely drunk, and
I
she's
knew
out
that.
on the town with her friend, not a bunch of guys. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of telling.
That's
They-
fair.
It felt
But
like
I've
they were
seen
just
clips
having
from
a
the
fun time.
podcast where they like literally just like talk about.
Well, according to the podcast that she's on, actually, Talk to her new podcast. I tune into every episode. I actually,
Do you
that's
actually?
my wake a wish to go to the Talk to podcast. Be on the Talk to a podcast is my dream one day. But basically, yeah.
There's. Are you going to talk about the memes?
Yeah, we can talk about the memes. But anyways, she actually is dating the same guy she was dating then.
Oh, really?
She was talking to a guy then, and she's talking to the same guy. So I don't think she's like the type of girl to like actually get around. I think she just makes vulgar jokes, and that's like part of her
Oh,
personality.
that's fair.
There's girls that are like that. You'd imagine there's some girls that are just like absolutely. They speak promiscuous, they act promiscuous, but then they're not actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would imagine she's that type of person. It seems like she's that type of person. I watched a whole Talk to a podcast episode in preparation to talk to her.
Talk to ya.
Talk to ya, yeah. And honestly, she seems like a pretty decent person. She doesn't seem like she's like a bad person. She does seem extremely ignorant about anything that happens outside of Tennessee. But
She's not smart in the slightest.
I don't think she's the highest IQ individual in the whole world. But, honestly, we need people like her.
We need more stupid people to keep the
No,
world
not
going.
stupid. I didn't say stupid. But we need, like, average intellect people. Like, you need average
Yeah, and
intellect
slightly
people.
below as well.
Yeah, if somebody
And maybe
was
more
slightly
than
below.
slightly.
I don't know what she is. I mean, I don't want to insult her intelligence. She seems like a fine young lady. But anyways, I a lot of people think that
She's a young lady.
that like she's a. This guy
I'm just trying to
hates
hate.
Talk to her.
Dude, she's annoying.
What? Do you want
I
to spit on her or something?
I want to spit on that thing, bro. I want to spit on that thing. I don't, she's just. I'm not a fan, bro. She's not funny.
That's
I've
the
laughed
thing.
more at the people making fun of her, and I'm not usually a one to hate, bro. I feel like
I think you either love her, hate her, or you don't care in the slightest.
I think
about
I'm
her.
stone. I just think I'm in a stone cold mood right now.
Man, like Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about hate, we can talk about KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Because according to them, everyone hates them, and they like would hate them no matter what. Not because they made a dog crap product.
Yeah, not because they're serving Lunchables rebranded.
Not because they're serving Lunchables rebranded with less calories, so that kids get less calories a day, instead of
When
more
growing
potassium,
children,
less calories, more electrolytes, aka sodium.
and
And
kids need
lead.
sodium. Let's not act like they don't.
No. So the thing is that
But that's what they advertised, is that like we're less in sodium. One of the whole points of your beverage is that it's supposed to be an electrolyte beverage,
yeah, it should have sodium. It definitely should.
and
have
it should have
sodium.
more sodium than the Lunchable. I mean,
It does have. It actually does have more.
oh, it does.
More than the juice pack, yeah. But also the juice pack is like, literally like, it's a juice pack. It's just juice. I mean,
Yeah,
like, it's not
yeah.
supposed to be like for healthy for you. It's supposed to be for lunch. 99. I watched this video that said like most kids and most adults even, if they don't consume any electrolytes outside of their regular diet, it's not going to impact them whatsoever. So like, if you went throughout your day and didn't drink a Gatorade or didn't drink a electrolyte supplement,
I think it's a
of some
recovery
sort-
thing though,
Yes,
because
it's purely a recovery thing, but most people don't need it.
I don't think you need it. I think it speeds up the recovery process.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that like most people, that, you go in, work 9 to 5, you don't work out after, you don't need to be sipping on Prime,
I agree.
or you don't need to be sipping on Gatorade. And to be fair, if we really wanted to rebrand Prime in general, it's just tasty flavored coconut water.
With a bunch of
It's
other crap in it.
tasty flavored coconut water.
I don't like Prime.
A lot of people don't.
the
A lot of people don't like Prime. I personally don't hate the flavor of Prime. It just gives me the Hershey squirts after I eat it
oh
or
really?
drink it. Yeah,
Is it the fake sugars in it, you think?
I think almost for
Or
sure.
potassium too? Both.
It's probably a little bit of both. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Prime is that bad. But anyways,
Certain sugar-free things.
sugar or sugar-free things. I think it's just
Excess
anything,
sugar does it too.
Yeah, anything like that.
Watch the game theory on
Anything
it.
overly sweet just
Or food
kills
theory.
my stomach, man. But yeah. So, anyways, we got to talk about what we were meaning to talk about this. So Dan TDM, after one tweet, Dan TDM has tweeted once at Logan Paul and KSI, and Lunchly in general. He has gotten 13 tweets against him from Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. Now 14 because I just saw one when we were looking
Yeah,
up the
we
Dr.
opened it up
Disrespect
just
stuff,
to
and
find info
he
on
had
that.
tweeted again at him. One 20-minute video from KSI, a reaction video to
Of
that
Logan Paul.
20-minute video from Logan Paul, and basically in these videos and these things, they're just calling Dan TDM like a dweeb and like a jerk and like a nerd.
They don't actually give any. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, "Oh, his fans suck. They're bombing my subreddit and they're like ruining my Twitter and all this and that." And it's like,
In reality,
that's
it's just,
your fans.
Yeah. In reality, it's
Ain't
just
nobody-
his fans trying to bring to light the fact that he's just being an asshole.
Exactly. They're marketing things to kids when in reality, like they didn't have to market food to children. Why did they have to choose food out of all things? Food is such a complex thing to market to anyone, especially healthy food, because 99% of healthy alternatives out there have something wrong with them, arguably worse than the original.
Stick to the toys, Jimmy. Stick to the candy. Stick to the toys.
Literally, toys, I don't have any issue with.
Well, even
Candy,
his candy,
I don't have any issue
even
with.
his candy.
It's not better for you candy.
It's
Well,
now it's
originally it
not.
was.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he
now it's
changed
not.
the entire like direction of what his candy was supposed to be to market it towards young kids, and it sucks because it was something that was going against the grain. It was trying to do better than these other leading brands, and now he's falling into the same thing. Does someone have do we have the nutrition facts on lunch? Can we pull them up?
I could pull them up, but it's like 200 calories versus 300 calories.
I mean the ingredients list. Sorry.
The ingredients list?
Yeah, can we pull that up?
I can pull it up, but it's
Jamie?
Here's the issue with Lunchly's site on the ingredient list. It's not actually
Well,
like,
now that the
official.
packages are out, I wonder if someone's just taking a picture of the package or whatever, right?
Let me show you what their personal thing is, because I didn't even notice this the first time I watched through it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can look at the comparative nutritional facts, and it's just kind of gross. So basically,
I've seen this, but this isn't what I'm looking for though.
No, I know what you are looking for, but I want to point this out real fast. So if we look at these things, there's certain things on their website that are just really, really misleading. Electrolytes are a big thing. Where electrolytes come from, calories are a big thing. Where do the calories come from? We don't have macros realistically.
Mm-hmm.
If it's only 9 grams of if it's 9 grams of protein, where are the rest of the calories coming from? Because 9 grams of protein is not 360 calories. Why are we not showing the whole thing? And this was an issue last week. Now, obviously, we have more of the nutrition facts, but there's also more pages in which we see those pictures where it's like them versus us and stuff like this. Okay, let's open this image in a new tab. I can show you guys this real fast. So they have Lunchly, leading brand. They can't say Lunchables, I don't think. Flavorful combos, standard picks. They're the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Bold packaging, basic packaging. They don't look that much different.
It's different.
Big
I mean, it's a different
gestures,
brand,
mid
but
moments.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
It's the same freaking thing, man. And it looks like there's not a ton of actual.
I need an ingredients
full-
list because I feel like once we
What
see
the-
an ingredients list, what? Yo,
Yo, I'm on the freaking homepage for this thing too. My own thing. It might
Is
be
that-
because of me, but
wait. I want to check. I'll check my phone and see if that's on there too later.
Lunchly nutrition facts. Let's see if it's real.
That's not
Is this
Lunchly.
that's
It's-
Greenfield Natural. Yeah, I can't find any of the.
We'll have to go
actual
buy some
nutrition
after this video.
Yeah, well, I honestly, I might.
We
It's
need to.
$4.
We should for a video, bro.
Kind of taxing, low key.
Dude, we could just buy each and try them out and compare them.
Yeah, we could do a blind test. Yeah, here you could try it normally, and then I do a blind test, and I'll do a blind test.
Okay. Do you want to do it after this?
We could do something like that. Yeah. What time is it? I got to stream at 5:30. I promise.
Nope.
I promise. Well, but if you wanted to go pick it up, I'll pay you back for the food.
And we could do it on.
Yeah, we can do it on stream.
Shit, that'd be kind of fire.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I do it. But anyways, yeah. So Lunchly and Logan Paul are kind of cooked. LSI is what we're calling him now. KSI, LSI. That's actually a full joke. I actually enjoy a lot of KSI's content.
I don't.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I will say
I'm going to be a hater today.
One thing about his content is it can be extremely reactionary, and it does rely on his community more than it relies upon him. But part of it is because he's fostered that community. I mean, he doesn't just spawn in with with a community to make these videos on, you know? It's because he's fostered a community. He's worked hard for the community for a long time. He played video games for a long time.
He used to play like FIFA and stuff like that, right?
He played basically every game under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's worked for it for a long time, and he deserves to, I mean, have his
success. But this is absurd, bro.
This is stupid. This is a cash grab.
Pick your battles, man. I mean, come on.
For sure. What
Especially
happened to YouTubers, man?
I don't know. The fall off is insane.
I was quoting it, but there was also like a thing where KSI talked about Marquez Brownlee too. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
So Marquez Brownlee released a wallpaper app in which they had like live
$50 a year, right?
If you wanted to pay for it. He also had a
But you
free
don't have
option. There was a free option, and then there was a $50 a year option, in which you could, you know, pay $50
That affects
for a year.
people so much less, bro.
It's
than Lunchley. Lunchley is something I'm going to see for the next at least like 5 years.
It's a daily
stores,
purchase
you know?
versus a once a year purchase. And on top of that, Marcus Brownlee, as soon as people said, this is too expensive, he said, oh yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to make it less expensive. I absolutely understand this.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Brownlee hasn't done this to his fans before. KSI and Logan Paul have both pump and dumped crypto scams.
All sorts of stuff,
regularly.
Man.
Both of them. There's a clip that Vicstar, who is a member of the Sidemen, came out with that basically said that he had to convince KSI to not pump and dump his fans. Which, if you don't know what pump and dump is, it means like you say, this crypto is going to go to the moon after you've already bought it, and then you sell immediately after you tweet.
Because then it'll go up a bunch and you'll sell, take all the money, and then you kind of just leave it in the dust.
And everybody else gets cooked, basically. I mean, there's some people that are like the first in that actually get money from it, but that's super, super rare. That's like the 0.01%, you know? It's gross, and it's nasty, and Lunchley is probably trash. We'll actually see. Go to brody2wd.com, and you can see the video. Actually, I forgot. I don't think I have that website URL anymore. Brody2wd on YouTube. And we'll see the video. Anyways, guys, unless there's anything else with the podcast.
New Kanye album.
New Baby just dropped.
New. Are you talking about that baby?
My Baby, yeah.
New Brody, new baby, new tat.
I'm officially Dad 2WD, and Cyril is officially Daddy Cyril.